Bringing people and communities together on seclosounds.org.
Your listening station.
Sound a big thing now.
Hi, blessings to each and every one of you. Join me, Darren Hoy, with the Reggae Takeover Show for 2 hours of the finest reggae vibes, each and every Wednesday, 9 through to 11 p.m, here on Seclo Sounds. Don't miss out on your weekly Sunshine Fix, featuring Roots, Rude Boy, Dub, Lovers Rock, Ska, One Drop, and much, much more. So go on, give your sound system a treat. Join me, wind down low, and skank the night away. One love. That's Wednesdays, 9 through to 11 p.m, live on Seclo Sounds.
Get your top, my selector.
You can contact us or just keep up to date with travel news at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show.
This is Seclo Sounds, your community radio station. If you'd like to volunteer some of your time and skills with Seclo Sounds, send an email to volunteers@seclosounds.org and let us know how you would like to be involved. MK Flyers Online, the fast and simple way to find any kind of business or service locally. Find us at mkflyersonline.co.uk or download the MK Flyers mobile app from your app store. MK Flyers Online proudly supports Seclo Sounds, community radio for Milton Keynes.
The John Guinn Travel Show. Checking it out before you check in on seclosounds.org. Still to come in the travel news at the end of the show is a story about a tourist who was killed when a whale hit a sightseeing boat. But at the moment, I'm still speaking to Jantine from Ottawa Tourism, and there's still plenty to find out about the capital of Canada. If a family was coming to visit, what would be the ideal length of stay? And I was going to ask what would be the best time of year to go, but I suppose it depends on what you want to see and do.
Exactly. And in terms of timing, I'd say summer is when we get the most visitors, I'd say, from the UK. And for the sheer variety of activities. I mean, all the museum exhibitions would be up and running. The outdoor activities would be running full steam. We actually have a changing of the guard ceremony on Parliament Hill that's modeled on the one at Buckingham Palace that started 50 years ago, but the soldiers are in their red tunics with the black bearskin hats. They march up to Parliament Hill every day at 10 a.m. and do the changing of the guard ceremony, and that runs from late June through late August. Frankly, I think anywhere in that May to October timeframe would be ideal for most people. Or if you wanted to embrace the winter, again, if it intrigues you, if you've got skating on the Rideau Canal Skateway on your bucket list, then definitely come in February for Winterlude. I think that's a spectacular time to come as well. As for the length of stay, I'd say you'd need, as a family, to really explore and see a lot. I'd say at least 4 or 5 nights. I mean, you could come for a weekend, but it would be a quick visit, and you'd really have to pick and choose well what you wanted to see. But I think 4 or 5 nights could give you a nice overview of the region.
You keep mentioning the skating, but I'm about 115 kilograms. Would I be okay on that? Would it be able to take my weight?
Oh, yeah. They don't open the skateway until it's at least a foot thick. Okay. So the ice is 12 inches thick or more. And again, this winter was cold enough that it was much more than the 12 inches. Thousands and thousands of people are out on the ice. Mm-hmm. So it's any one individual is not making or breaking the ice.
I'm somebody who's broken a fair few chairs in his time, so the ice always makes me a bit nervous.
Step into the spotlight with me, Lucy, every Wednesday between 6 and 7 p.m. on Seclo Sounds. I'll have new music, the latest entertainment news, and interviews with local bands. If you're in a band, or if you have music that you think I should be playing, I'd love to hear from you. Email me, lucy@seclosounds.org, and join me every Wednesday from 6 till 7 for Spotlight on Seclo Sounds.
You can contact us or just keep up to date with travel news at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. If you're lucky enough to have been to Ottawa already, please do share your experiences at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. Share your pictures, share your tips for places to see. places to eat, and anything else you would like to share with the listeners. So it's facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show for the pictures and information from your recent trip to Ottawa. In this next section of my chat with Jantine from the Ottawa Tourism Department, we're finding out if the city is a romantic place to go, and then we find out if I can get Jantine to narrow down one must-do when you visit Ottawa.
I think you could have a very romantic time in Ottawa. I picture dinner at the Cordon Bleu, for instance. We have a company that does culinary walking tours of different neighborhoods in Ottawa, and they do occasional chocolate-themed tours. So the tour goes from restaurant to boutique to restaurant to boutique, and you sample along the way. So I think a chocolate tour could be very romantic. In the summer, you could pack a picnic lunch and rent a bike and explore a bit along the Rideau Canal or along the Ottawa River and stop for a nice picnic lunch. If you're here in the summer, on a Wednesday at noon, they offer free yoga classes on the lawn of Parliament Hill. This is one of the coolest things, I think, in Ottawa. Literally hundreds of people, usually they're office workers from nearby office buildings. You see them trudge up to the hill at 11:45. They bring their mats and their water bottle, and then they embark on this wonderful hour-long yoga class. It's very colorful, very photogenic, and then boom, they're done. They go back to work, but you and your honey could enjoy the yoga and then move on to something more romantic. And if you're a spa couple, then we have a couple great, or more than a couple great options for spa people. There's just north of Ottawa, about 10-minute drive north of Ottawa, in the small town of Chelsea, Quebec, because we are right on the border between the province of Ontario and the province of Quebec. In Chelsea, they have Canada's largest spa, or North America's largest spa, called Nordic Nature Spa. And Le Nordique is just an amazing spot in the Gatineau Hills with exposed rock and lots of trees and just a wonderful, relaxing vibe. You can book treatments, massages and whatnot, but their core business is it's a pattern of heat, cold, and relax. So you go into a sauna, whether it's a wet sauna or a dry sauna, get very, very hot, then you go either into a plunge pool or you get splashed with water, or even a more temperate pool, and that's your cold, and then you relax. They have very calming, they don't even want you talking much. It's very silent and reflective, and you just chill for a while, and then you repeat that. So hot, cold, rest, hot, cold, rest. You can spend hours there. They have a couple of places where you can get a nice glass of wine or a charcuterie board and just watch the world go by. They also have a saltwater floating pool called Cala, which is one of only 2 in the world. It's similar to the Dead Sea, where you just, without even thinking, you're floating in this very cool subterranean place, and it's very relaxing. So I think that's also very romantic for your romantic getaway.
More relaxed now, just hearing you describe all the different bits and pieces. I'm really looking for a spa that's going to make my hair grow back, but I haven't found one yet. But you never know. I keep looking.
That's tricky.
So everybody says it's not fair.
Yeah.
Regardless of how long somebody's got in the city, what's the one must-do activity to say that you've been to Ottawa?
Well, I think the typical answer is Parliament Hill. And again, whether you take the free tour or not, as part of the tour at the end, you have the option to go up the Peace Tower, which is a 90-meter tower that has 360-degree views of the capital region. That is one of the best views in town. But even if you don't take the tour, you can stroll the grounds. You can see the Centennial Flame. There's monuments and statues throughout the grounds, and gorgeous views at the rear of the Parliament buildings, looking over the Ottawa River and Gatineau, Quebec on the other side of the river. To me, again, that's the quintessential Ottawa experience. But for me, going to the Byward Market neighborhood and shopping and dining and people watching and having a beaver tail, because that's where the permanent year-round beaver tail stand is, like that to me is a a real taste of Ottawa, because the Byward Market is not just a neighborhood for visitors. It's one of Ottawa's oldest neighborhoods. It's a real vibrant place in the city. And then I still have to throw the Rideau Canal on there. So conveniently, the Rideau Canal is located between those two spots, so you can easily do Parliament Hill, explore the Rideau Canal, and then explore the Byward Market neighborhood one after the other.
Okay. It's very convenient. Do you get T-shirts saying "I've eaten beaver tail"?
Yeah.
I'll have to get one of those.
I've seen some, yes. And yes, we've heard all the jokes possible about beaver tails.
I won't go into any right now. You're listening to the John Guinn Travel Show on seclosounds.org. With a country as vast as Canada, you probably want to do a multi-centre trip when you go over there. So I asked Jantine if it's easy to connect to the rest of Canada if you start off with Ottawa.
Definitely. I mean, because we are the capital, we're the only city in Canada that connects directly to every major city in Canada and every province and territory. So something that's new, relatively new, is there's a company called Air North that's offering flights from Ottawa to Yellowknife and Whitehorse. So those are two cities in two of our northern territories. So for instance, if you wanted to do one of the Aurora Borealis tours, you can fly to Ottawa first, spend a few days in Ottawa, and then fly up to Yellowknife or Whitehorse for the more Arctic experience. We also have direct flights to Iqaluit, which is the capital of Nunavut, the third of our northern territories. And then again, we connect to every major city, so Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, Moncton even. We're connected to every city.
When it comes to booking a trip there, is it easy to book direct with the hotels and the accommodation, or is it better to go for a travel agent or tour operator?
That's the beauty of being in 2015. You're in control. You have options. So you can do it yourself. On our website, for instance, ottawatourism.ca, we have a booking engine that offers just hotel stays or packages that include accommodation as well as passes to museums or meals or other little goodies. And that's very simple to use, and the language is not a barrier. But travel agents and tour operators, we work closely with quite a number in the UK, including Canadian Affair. They're offering a 5-night Ottawa, 2-night Toronto package. In fact, Ontario Tourism has partnered with Ottawa Tourism and Toronto, and we're embarking on a 4-week campaign starting in mid-March, going for a month. You're going to see tons of Instagram-like photos in St. Pancras Station, and there's a contest component. There's all sorts of deals and offers through our partners, travel agents and tour operators in London. So there's lots of options there.
Okay. You've already given the website, but could you remind us what the website is and how else can we find out more about Ottawa?
Sure. Well, you can find out more about Ottawa at ottawatourism.ca. You can also follow us on social media, both Instagram and Facebook. We're Ottawa Tourism, and on Twitter, we're Ottawa_tourism. That's where we share a lot of great images, a lot of great info about festivals and things to do and see in the city. We share a lot of content from our partners and our members and our visitors. So it's a fun spot.
Okay, great. Thank you for sharing the Ottawa information.
Well, thanks so much for having me.
Are you happy?
Seclo Sounds is based at the Old Rectory, the home of our studio partner Interaction MK. They've been bringing arts to life in Milton Keynes for over 35 years. They use the arts to improve the life chances of disabled people and others in challenging circumstances through shared creative activity. These programs help participants to develop creative, personal and social skills. You can visit them at www.interactionmk.org.uk.
You're listening to the John Guinn Travel Show on seclosounds.org. As Jantine mentioned, there's going to be a month-long of information being handed out at St Pancras Station in London about Ontario in general. And if you want to follow the conversation on Twitter, the hashtag is #DiscoverOntario. If you're visiting St Pancras, do look out for the pictures. If you see anything of Ottawa, please do take a picture and share it at facebook.com/John Guinn Travel Show. And now, travel news.